the soul-stirring Ved mantra in the Yajur Ved, Om yen deu rugra prithvi cha dridha, yen swa stabhitam yen nakah, yo antarikshe rajaso vimanah, kasmai devaya havisha vidhema. This Ved mantra talks about that supreme being that helps you travel through space. लोक लोकांतरों में विचरण करना और कराना उस ईश्वर की, परम पिता परमेश्वर की विशेष भक्ति किया करें. Now, is that actually possible? Of course, traveling in space is already happening. India's Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla is part of that mission in space, the first Indian in the International Space Station. This is happening almost 4 decades after Squadron Leader Rakesh Sharma. He was a cosmonaut. Now we have an astronaut. But what is India's big space plan? To talk more about it, and India does intend to take huge leaps, is already taking those huge leaps, is Dr. Jitendra Singh, Minister of State Independent Charge, Science and Technology, Earth Sciences, Prime Minister's Office and Ministry of Personnel. Sir, welcome on Chakraview podcast.
Thank you, Gaurav.
Sir, you wear multiple hats. You're a medical doctor. You look at space science very closely. You're a member of parliament from Jammu and Kashmir. But if we were to talk about India's space plans first, tell us about the broad overview, especially Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla's mission. What do we hope to achieve through this?
Yeah, of course. And before that, just picking up from the shloka that you so beautifully recited to begin with, about the earth being the voyage, exploring the earth. And this is precisely what Shubhanshu said, that earth looks just one. You can't demarcate boundaries, which is very much in keeping with Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam also. So I think that there also India has spiritually proved a point. So that connects with your initial recitation. But having said that, as far as the space plans are concerned, of course, India, of course, has is moving on its space plans at all those levels which other nations which had launched themselves before us, like for example, notably US and the then USSR, and also to some extent European Space Agency. But besides that, I think India has also qualified in making initiatives or undertaking initiatives which were not so commonly undertaken by the other nations which started off before us. Like, for example, in the infrastructure development, the sectoral development. Today, most of, at least in the last 11 years after Prime Minister Modi took over, almost all the infrastructure, the flagship programs, the government of India have a very, very important and a heavy space technology component. Look, for example, look at the smart city program. It started by Prime Minister Modi. The railway crossings, unmanned crossings, then of course disaster forecast. Now we are even offering our help and our inputs, at least to all the neighboring countries. In fact, way back in 2015 or 16, we launched a satellite which was, some people fancifully thought it could be named as SARC satellite, but then somehow Pakistan did not offer to become a part of it. Of course, it is to their disadvantage, but we are offering now inputs to all the other neighboring countries. Besides that, huge forays into the telemedicine, communication, of course, what we are talking today, and also in some of our governance programs, interesting, like Swamitva program undertaken by the government of India very successfully. He's become almost a global success story where using space technology, using drones, you can map the farms, you can map the land. You put the revenue officer in the Patwari out of job. You made the citizen master of his destiny. So I think India is now doing all that anybody else could be doing, rather in a better way. And we have also proved that we are no longer followers. In more ways than one, we are also in fact, motivating or beckoning others to follow. Like, for example, America landed on the surface of moon way back 1969, Neil Armstrong. And 1969 is the year when officially ISRO was established. We were just being born. But today, we are the first to land on the southern pole of moon. So, Likewise, in more ways than one. Now, for example, even Shubhanshu, you were talking about the various experiments, at least 6 or 7 of them are the ones which are being conducted for the first time. No astronaut from any region, from any country has ever done so. And what he is doing is going to offer inputs to the rest of the world as well.